Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. The translation, it reads like this. Hello, how are you? Can you please post my own story as anonymous? I am a South African woman. I have come here because I want to share with you my own story of the things that happened. It was roughly 7 years ago, and I'm still suffering to this very day. When my mom told me that you will eat money of foreigners, but you will suffer for the rest of your life, I thought that my mom, she was just jealous of me and she did not like me. This is what happened. My mom was once married to my father, and then my father then had another wife, and my mom then started staying with her mother, my grandmother. So my mother, it was like each and everything, whatever that she will do, she just wanted to punish me because of the things that had happened in the past. And when she had her other kids, she would pretend as if I was not even her child at all. It was as if I did not even exist in her world. It was very painful, the things that she used to do to me. So me and my mother, we used to fight with each other all the times. And when I was now in university, it reached a point whereby I did not even want to be around my mother anymore because we would shout at each other. And when I fell pregnant, my mom, she even accused me, and she said that I was too stupid, and that was the reason as to why I had fallen pregnant, which was very painful. I then started staying with my baby daddy, who was working in the municipality as well. So my baby daddy, who was working in the municipality, he then made a plan so that I can also work in the municipality with him. So I started working there. We literally had to pay a lot of money in order for me to just get that job, and it was not even a job where I was earning a lot of money. I was just someone that was struggling, but still we had to pay a lot of money. Fast forward, that was when I started to work in another area. I was working by the suburbs at that time, so we would be picking up some rubbish in the street as well as in the park that was nearby. So I used to see a lot of rich people, and then we started to work close to this other estate where rich people were staying. And whenever I would be picking up the papers close to that estate, there was this other man whom I started dating later on. He was from Zim. So the man, I would see him, he would be running early in the morning, even in the afternoon when it was not too hot. He would go out and he would be exercising. So he would always speak with me, and when he would have returned back into the estate later on, if he would go to the mall, then he would bring me something. He would buy me some cold drink or anything. He would even ask me what is it that I wanted when he would have gone to the mall, and I would tell him. That is how me and the guy, we started dating, even though I had told him that there was someone that I was dating, and he said that he really did not care. He just wanted to date me. We then started dating each other, and then I started to fight with my own boyfriend. So we were fighting like each and every day. We would fight no matter what, because I now had a man that was taking good care of me. And as for my boyfriend, he was broke, he was too poor, he was unable to give me the things that I wanted in life. And I got my first iPhone. The day when I got my first iPhone, my mom, she asked me about that iPhone, and I did not want to tell my mom truth where I had gotten the iPhone from. And later on, when she found out that I now had another boyfriend, that was when my mom then said to me, this money that you are eating of foreigners, one day you are going to regret. And I shouted at my mom, because my mom, she wanted me to return back so that I can stay with my boyfriend who was poor. And as for my boyfriend, I did not want to stay with him because he was too poor, and obviously he was wanting me to be back in his life because he knew that I was dating another man, even though he knew that I was dating another man, but still he wanted me around because he wanted me to take care of him. When he asked me for money, the day when I saw that it was useless to date a guy that is broke, he asked me for money, and I told him that I did not have money, for he had finished all the money that he used for transport in that month. And when I told him that I was also broke, I did not have any money, he then said to me, how about you ask your boyfriend? And I was like, you are my boyfriend, but you are telling me to go and ask my other boyfriend if he has money so that he can give me and I can give that money to you. How stupid are you? Do you think that I am that of a fool so that I can go and beg money from another man so that I can give that money to you? So we then started to fight, me and that guy, and I walked away. I permanently started dating the guy from Zim. He asked for one thing only from me, and he said that in whatever that you do, I am begging you, please never cheat on me, because I will give you all the money that you want. Anything that you want, I am going to give it to you. And I was like, okay, there is no problem, as long as you want me in your life and you're going to take care of me, I am never going to cheat on you. So this boyfriend of mine that I was now dating, he had other rich friends. We would go to different parties, and I would be meeting a lot of his rich friends. We then went to this other rooftop party. It was a topless party. This meant that all the women that were there, you were not supposed to wear anything up there, just for a little bra, which was a see-through. That was all that you were supposed to wear for that party. So I was given 19k by my boyfriend just to attend the party. There were lots of Nigerians and a lot of his friends that were from his country, and his business partners that were South African men. Everyone had his girlfriends. My boyfriend was the only one that he had only one boyfriend. Most of them, your Nigerians, he had up to 3 girlfriends at the same time. So this topless party, what they were doing was that they would put sushi on your boobs, and then the men will start to eat, and you would be given money for each and every man that would come and eat the sushi from your boobs. So we started making a lot of money. All the girls that were there, we made real money, and everyone was high and drunk. There was a time that I would even take cocaine, but thanks God I did not get addicted to the cocaine that they used to give me. So me and my boyfriend, since we had been fighting, I then met this other Nigerian at the same party. He was very handsome and he was smelling really nice. He had 4 women that he was with. All of them, they were very pretty, much more beautiful than I was, and he told me that they were his girlfriends and he would give them allowance each and every month. He told me that each and every girlfriend of his, he give the girlfriend 40k girlfriend allowance. That's why they did not even fight with each other. And he asked me if I wanted to be part of the team, and I said no, I am already dating my boyfriend and I love him. And he told me that I was losing out. He could give me much more than I can ever ask for. And then we started dating. I did not know that this guy, he makes his women to sleep with a snake. He has a snake of his that is in his house. Fast forward, I then dumped my Zimbabwean boyfriend. I was tired because I wanted him to at least find me a nice place so that I can give my friends pressure. I wanted to stay in the estates, but he was telling me that he wanted to buy something. I forgot what he wanted to buy so that he can start mining in his country, and it was worth me millions, and it was going to be brought from China by ship, and then he would go and collect it in Tanzania. So he told me that the money that was needed, it was a lot, and he did not have money for me to go and stay in the estates. He said, you have to wait. And I said, wait until when? He then said, maybe in about 2 years I can recover the money that I would have used. And I said, 2 years? You are crazy. 2 years whilst I am staying in the location. And he said that, but you are no longer staying in the location, you are staying in the suburbs. And I told him that to me it seemed as if it was still the locations, because the people were noisy. I wanted my own space where I can do my own thing. And he said he was going to make a plan. We kept on fighting about that. He was the one that had spoiled me. Each and every time that we would sleep with each other, he would give me 2K. And now that we were like almost husband and wife, when I would say I want money because you slept with me, then he would start to complain, and you will be like, you are acting as if you are a prostitute. You are not supposed to do that. You have to know that at the end of the month I give you money. And I said, this guy is crazy. He's just wasting my time. I have to move on with my life. So then I went and I spoke with the Nigerian guy, and I said, listen man, you said that you wanted me. How much do you want me? And the Nigerian guy said that he was all into me and he really wanted me for real. And I said, if you want me for real, then you need to show me. He then went to Nigeria. On his way back, he then said, I wish that you had a passport. If you had a passport, we were going to Dubai. And I said, how long does it take to get a passport? And I went to the Home Affairs. I then applied for a passport, and he told me that he was going to return back to Nigeria so that we can go to Dubai. I should have known that this man had returned back so that he can do other rituals. And then I waited, and in 2 weeks time my passport was out, and he booked for me for a flight. I was scared. I went alone to Dubai, and I waited for him in Dubai. That was where I slept with a snake. He then arrived in Dubai. A couple of days later, I was stuck in the hotel room. I was all alone. I was lonely in a foreign country, but on social media I was giving everyone, friends, relatives, and everyone that knew me, pressure that I'm alone in Dubai and I am doing this on my own. My Nigerian boyfriend came, and then when we slept together, I felt something that was very cold that was moving on my private part. Later that night, when I had a dream, I saw that I was inside of a coffin and I was wearing a wedding dress. And when I woke up, I then saw that I was in a room that was full of people, and these people that were looking at me, I could not even recognize anyone. Then I started crying because the wedding gown which I was wearing, it started to change color. From white, it became dark red, like blood red. And I saw that there was blood that was coming out of my private part. Then I saw the Nigerian guy. He was standing by the doorway. Now it seemed as if we were inside a church, which was a Roman Catholic church. He was standing by the doorway. Then he started walking the aisle, and he came to where I was standing. He was holding a flower, and I was told to take that flower if I wanted to leave. This flower, it changed and it became a little child, and this little child, it was taken away from me, and I saw that they fed this other giant python which was inside the coffin which I had woken up in, and it started to eat my child. And then I was told by the Nigerian guy that he wanted to marry me, and I said, how can you say that you want to marry me yet you have a lot of women? He then took out a ring, and he said that with this ring I am marrying you today. With the money that I'm going to be giving you, I will do whatever that I want with your body. And I woke up, I was bleeding. Throughout the vacation, the 3 weeks vacation that we had in Dubai, I was on my period and I was bleeding heavy. Each and every night, I would see a giant snake that would enter into the hotel room that we were booked, and this giant snake will come, strip me naked, even remove the sanitary pad because it had little hands that would stretch out of its neck, and it would remove the sanitary pads, and it will start to eat my private part. Whenever I would tell my Nigerian boyfriend that these were the weird dreams that I was having, he would be like, no, you are just imagining things that do not even exist. Why would I ever want to do such a thing to a woman that I love? Fast forward, we then returned back to South Africa. He then bought for me a car. That was when I saw that I was pregnant. I was pregnant for 3 months for him. He then took me to his friend's house. I only drank juice. After I had drank juice, and then I started to have a miscarriage, and the same dream that I had, it happened. I fell to the ground and I collapsed because I was feeling weak. I woke up in a private hospital, and then I had another dream when I was in Mediclinic, and this dream that I had, there were people that came and collected the child and they fed the child to a snake. I woke up screaming. Even the nurses were shocked as to why I was screaming. I was scared to tell them about the nightmare that I had had. And then after this had happened, my Nigerian boyfriend started to avoid me, and he told me that, how can I be with you when you are always on your period? So now it was my mistake. It was no longer his mistake. He said that still he felt sorry for me. He was going to continue taking good care of me, and take care of me he did for about a year. He kept on coming each and every time when we would try to make love. I would tell him that I can't make love to him because I am having heavy bleeding. And then that was when he dumped me. The way that he dumped me, Brother Nashi, it had been a year without having sexual intercourse with a man. His friends started visiting me almost every day. He was like a friend. We would watch movies together. And one night it was really cold. I was watching a movie. He came and I had a blanket, and he said, can I get into the blanket? And then he started touching me. I wanted to make love so much to a man that I told him that I was on my period, and he said that is the reason why there are condoms. And then we started using condoms when we were making love. Just when we had finished, that was when I had a knock on the bedroom door. It was my Nigerian boyfriend, and then she was like, oh, so this is what you do when I am not around. And he walked away, and I was hurt. I begged for his forgiveness. I wanted him to understand that it had been a year without me sleeping with a man. I just wanted to know what it felt like again to be touched, to make love to a man. And he said he has to take care of you now. Later on, I found out that it was a deal that they had done between those two Nigerians. That was the way that he dumped me. I returned back to my mom's house. I had lost that job at the municipality. With the money that I was making, I thought that working at the municipality, it was just a joke. And now I am suffering. I am working at this other small supermarket as a cashier, but life is very difficult. I do not want to lie. I will never forget, and to this very day, I'm traumatized. Whenever I think about dating, I get so traumatized because of the things that happened. I just want other women to be very careful. When you go for a man, do not go for a man simply because you have money. Me and my South African boyfriend, yes, we lived in a small mukuku, but still we had a good life. Right now, the guy that I left, he has a beautiful car and he has a wife, and they bought a house. He later got married to a woman who is a nurse, and it hurts me to this very day. And each and every time when I return back to the location, if it happens that I see him, I run away from him because I am too embarrassed to see him with the way that I dumped him, with the way that he felt so hurt by the time that I was driving my Zimbabwean boyfriend's car, because he had a lot of cars and he would say that you can drive whatever car that you want, and I would go to the location just to show people that, you see, I have arrived where I wanted to arrive, and this is who I am right now. But I regret, my heart is filled with so much grief because of what happened. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear sister. Let us try to speak with our dear sister in the comment section. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.